Okay, y'all, welcome to the channel. I'm Kev the Reviewer, and I'm very excited to review the Xbox Series S for you guys today. I'm really excited because there's a lot of questions that I've seen about it. Is it really next gen? Is it truly the ultimate budget console? Is it even worth buying at that $299 price tag? Let's talk about it. Okay, so the Xbox Series S is one of the two new consoles that is coming from Microsoft in this new generation of gaming. It is priced at $299, which is $200 less than the Xbox Series X, which is more powerful. It's $100 less than the cheapest PlayStation 5 that you can find in the market, which is the all-digital edition. It comes with 512 gigabytes of space in the solid state drive or SSD. It supports up to 120 hertz or 120 frames per second, upscaled 1440p, and HDR support as well. This baby is honestly a beast. The games and the graphics look superb. Honestly, I was skeptical at first because I heard that it doesn't display in 4K. But you really don't even notice. Like, I'm telling you, I have a PlayStation 5. This thing is a beast. It is tiny. It is compact. It is silent. Even when you're playing games that are like really stressing the console, like you don't hear anything. Like, it is a silent fan. When I was a kid, I would have loved to have this console because my parents would always wake up by how loud my consoles used to be. So this one is really, really good. With that being said, let's take a moment to talk about the new Xbox controller. And I really love the feeling of this thing. I love how you can just kind of rest your fingers on the triggers and you can just easily, without even moving your finger, you can just press the RB and LB buttons with the side of your finger while it rests on the triggers. I love how there's grip all over this thing. Literally, it's everywhere. I'm not sure if I can get it on the camera to focus in, but it is honestly awesome. It's on the triggers as well. It's on the sticks. It still takes AA batteries, so whatever your opinion is on that. It comes with a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. I've heard that this is even better than the Apple iPhone's headphone jack, so take with that what you will. Honestly, this feels really good. My only real gripes with this thing is that it's kind of loud. It's loud. Honestly, if I'm playing this thing at night, like, forget it. I can't bring my Xbox into my bedroom with my wife sleeping next to me because she's going to wake up at any moment of time. So that's really one of my main gripes with this controller, which is funny because of how quiet the console is. The console is completely silent, but the controller, man, it is super loud. And I don't know if I'm the only opinion, but if you agree with me that these controllers are loud, leave a comment below and let me. Okay, so we need to talk about the very, very, very cool new feature that the Xbox Series consoles are offering in this new generation of gaming. And that's frames per second boost. This is something that Microsoft had up their sleeve basically all of last year when they were promoting these things. They didn't tell anybody about it. And this was honestly a huge surprise for me. I didn't really expect the frames per second boost to be a thing. But it works and it's beautiful. I was playing games like Assassin's Creed Unity, which everybody and their mama knows how bad the frames per second on that game used to be. And now I can play it in 60 frames per second and it is super smooth. The graphics are super dope. In my opinion, sidebar, that's one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games, by the way. And I also replayed Skyrim completely in 60 frames per second. And let me tell you, for an Xbox console, like, yo, like that's kind of dope, honestly. Like, I can't even tell you how exciting the frames per second boost is. Like, I never get tired of it. It's honestly as easy as just pressing the Xbox button and it'll show up like FPS Boost. And every time I see that when I start a new game, I know, like, okay, this is gonna be good. Another cool feature is the quick resume. Quick resume is awesome because you can literally play a game and then, click out, put on another game, and then go back to the original game and you're right where you left off. You don't have to go and sit through the menus. Honestly, the loading times of this new generation is so surprising. Like, it's amazing because, it used to be if I wanted to play, like, for example, maybe me and my wife are getting ready to go out. Let me know if you can relate with this, guys. And, she's kind of taking a while to get dressed or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? All right, let me turn on, the Xbox or the PlayStation or whatever, play a quick round of Call of Duty or something like that, and then when she's ready, we'll get out. It used to be that by the time I actually got into the game, because of all the loading screens, that's when she'd show up saying, okay, I'm ready to go. And I didn't even get to play. All right, I'll just turn it back off. Now I get to play for like at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes at least before she shows up saying, okay, I'm ready to leave now. So I think that's really, really sick. One thing though, we need to talk about, of course, is the storage on this thing, right? I think we talked about it a little. It's 512 gigabyte SSD. Of those 512 gigabytes that come with every Series S console, you can actually only use 364 gigabytes for games. This is kind of annoying because a lot of games these days take up a lot of space. A lot of the new generation games, they look amazing. For example, like Call of Duty Cold War, right? Black Ops Cold War. That thing is like easily at least 100 gigabytes. And that's like a third of the storage space on your Xbox. So that's really my only gripe with it. But it does come with something for a storage expansion right here, which is kind of like a memory card for all you old school gamers. And it basically expands the amount of space that your console can hold without, jeopardizing the speed of the SSD. The thing is that those things cost like $200. So they're super expensive, not really worth it in my opinion, because, the whole point of having this is, having a budget console, right? But if you're, this is $299 and you spend another $200 to expand the storage, why not just get a Series X? You know what I mean? So that's something that's kind of annoying for me. But, if you use some of the older games, a lot of the older titles, they're very small. You can fit quite a large amount of games actually on your Xbox if you're utilizing the backwards compatibility, like Red Dead Redemption, the original, which looks fantastic, right? And that's only like 10 gigabytes or something like that. So you can fit quite a bit. I mean, you got to look though. Transition. Since we were talking about space for games, why don't we talk about the games themselves, right? When you buy an Xbox Series S, you have access to something called Game Pass. And Xbox Game Pass, if you've never had it before, you pay $1 and you can get 3 months of basically unlimited digital game rentals. Essentially, that's what it is. And you can download them straight onto the console, so none of that streaming crap. You're literally playing the game natively. And a lot of games also play even better, some of the backwards compatibility. Speaking of backwards compatibility, the Series S and the Series X, the Xbox can play up to 4 generations of gaming, going back to the original Xbox that came out in like 2003. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But you can literally play them and they all look upgraded and amazing. Like the Halo Master Chief Collection is on Game Pass and it looks awesome. I had never played Halo. This was my first Xbox, and like I said, I'm a huge PlayStation fan. It's been a lot of fun playing Halo, I have to admit. I'm actually pretty excited about playing Halo Infinite whenever that comes out. You have in Game Pass, you have EA Play, you have all of the sports games. So if you're like a sports fan, if you really only buy like consoles so you can play the same FIFA game with all of your friends or something, like right now, Game Pass has FIFA 21, NHL 21, NBA 2K 21. It has Madden 21. If you want to play a sports game, honestly, this is the cheapest way to do it. And not only that, with Game Pass, everybody has access to a lot of the same games, and also a lot of their Xbox exclusive games, their first party games, They're going to be on Game Pass day and date. That means day one that they release, you don't have to go pay $60, $70 for each individual game anymore. You can just go on Game Pass. And Game Pass is basically like Netflix for video games now. And it's honestly, I think it's the future. I think that Xbox has got a lot going on for it this generation. Like, they have all of the Yakuza series on there. They have amazing games coming out. And based on what I saw at this last E3 that just happened right now, you're going to get Starfield. You're going to get Redfall. You're going to get Stalker 2, all on Game Pass day one. You're going to get Halo Infinite day one, right on Xbox Game Pass. And what does that cost you? $15 a month if you get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which includes online play and games with gold, which also gives you free games each month for you to keep. And also you can play online with your friends. This is like the best deal in gaming I've ever heard of. I can't even believe it. Every time I think about it, I think it's wild that this even exists. For $299, $300 if this is your first Xbox console and you pay that $1 for Game Pass, for $300 you have access to hundreds of games in the Xbox catalog. And they're not lame games either. There is some really good ones. What, you like Star Wars? They have freaking Jedi Fallen Order, dude. They got Battlefront. Oh, that's not enough? You don't like Halo? They got Gears of War. Whatever you want. Just shut up and play your video games. That's the whole point of Xbox Game Pass. So I'm going to tell you right now, honestly, I got to tell you, it's quite the deal. You're getting a lot of value with this console. I think it's worth it, honestly. I really do. Just my final thoughts on this. I think it's worth it. I've had it for a few months now. Honestly, I think that the future is bright with the frames per second boost, especially with as surprising as that was for me. They had that up their sleeve the whole time and told nobody until it was ready. So that tells me that they are definitely going to support the Series S just as much as the Series X. If you look at all of the new games that come out, it says on the game artwork, optimized for Series S and Series X. So what does that tell you? The future is bright, folks. If you're getting a Series S, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that if this is going to be your only console. If you're thinking about getting this as a gift for your kids, I guarantee that once they recognize and see the value that is coming with this, they're going to be super hype about it. I would be hype about it if I got this under my Christmas tree. That's not my honest opinion. I think that there is a lot to get here. For me personally, I didn't even buy this. I'm going to be honest with you. I traded a Nintendo Switch for it. And I was not disappointed at all. I thought this thing was amazing. This is an astronomical value. It's honestly made me very excited for Xbox. It's made me feel invested in Xbox in the future and what they're planning on doing with their console. I think that they're going to support this thing for years to come. And if something comes up down the road, bottlenecks, issues that I've heard people talk about, I'm sure that Microsoft will pull another card out of their sleeve to help support the Series S, because I don't think that they would have released this if they weren't confident in their ability to support this thing. So if you're considering whether or not you should get a Series S, I say, this has gotten me really excited. For me, I can't afford to pay, like $500 for a PS5 and then another $500 for a Series X. Like, I can't do that. I traded for this thing and it was totally worth it. If you're going to buy this thing, $299, really great value. Definitely get it. I wouldn't wait. I would get it now, honestly, because these are actually the only ones that are available in stores consistently. Much more than PS5, much more than Series X. Personally, I would have rather Xbox just release a discless Series X like what PlayStation did with the all-digital PS5, so we wouldn't have to deal with these, what if there's bottleneck issues? What if it sucks? I don't care. This thing is awesome right now. If you like what you see, consider liking the video, consider subscribing. If you're feeling wild, hit the bell notification. I would love to have you part of this community. If you like this video, let me know. If you have any critiques, let me know. This is actually my first YouTube video ever, so yeah, if you found any of this information valuable, if you were entertained, hit that like button and leave a comment below if you're interested in getting a Series S, if you already got one, if you're thinking about picking one up maybe for Christmas for your kids or something like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a pleasure, and take it easy.